Have you ever wondered if that healthy bowl of oatmeal you lovingly prepare each morning might actually be working against you? It's a staple for many of us, lauded for its heart-healthy benefits, its ability to keep us full, and its power to help manage blood sugar. We've been told for years that it's one of the best ways to start the day, a true cornerstone of a healthy diet, especially as we get a little older and focus more on longevity and vitality. But what if I told you that, for all its goodness, oatmeal can become surprisingly detrimental, almost toxic? When combined with certain common foods, it's a painful reality that many of us, without even realizing it, are turning a genuinely beneficial meal into something that could be hindering our digestion, spiking our blood sugar, or even robbing our bodies of essential nutrients. The truth is, while oatmeal itself is a nutritional powerhouse, what we add to it can completely change its impact on our health, sometimes for the worse. And I'm not talking about exotic, hard-to-find ingredients. I'm talking about everyday items that might be sitting in your pantry or fridge right now. In this video, we're going to uncover 7 of these surprising culprits, common foods that, when mixed with your morning oats, can undermine your health goals, leaving you feeling sluggish, bloated, or even undoing all the good you thought you were doing. Understanding these combinations is crucial for maximizing the incredible benefits of oatmeal and ensuring it truly supports your well-being. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you, a simple shift that can make all the difference. So, let's dive right in and explore the first few foods that can turn your wholesome oatmeal into a less than ideal start to your day. The first one might seem obvious, but it's incredibly pervasive and often underestimated: excessive added sugars. We all love a little sweetness, don't we? A sprinkle of brown sugar, a drizzle of maple syrup, or a spoonful of honey can certainly make oatmeal more palatable. But here's the rub: many of us go overboard without even realizing it. A standard serving of oatmeal is naturally low in sugar, which is fantastic for blood sugar management. However, adding several teaspoons of sugar, or a generous pour of syrup, instantly transforms it into a sugar bomb. Think about how quickly those sugars are absorbed into your bloodstream. It causes a rapid spike in blood glucose, followed by a crash, leaving you feeling tired, irritable, and craving more sugary foods soon after. For our bodies, especially as we age, managing blood sugar levels becomes increasingly important to prevent issues like insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, and even long-term complications like heart disease and nerve damage. It's not just about the sugar content, it's about the glycemic load. When you combine complex carbohydrates like oats with simple sugars, you accelerate the absorption of those sugars, negating the slow-release energy benefit that oatmeal is famous for. Instead of sustained energy, you get a roller coaster ride. A common scenario might be someone thinking they're eating a healthy breakfast by adding a few spoonfuls of sugar and then wondering why they're hungry and low on energy by mid-morning. It's because that initial sugar rush has worn off, leaving your body scrambling. The simple solution here isn't to cut out sweetness entirely, but to be mindful of quantity and quality. Instead of refined sugars, try natural, whole food sweeteners in moderation, a few berries, a sprinkle of cinnamon, or a small amount of pure stevia can provide that hint of sweetness without the dramatic blood sugar spikes. A mashed banana or a few dates can also add natural sweetness and fiber, which helps to slow sugar absorption. Remember, the goal is to enhance, not overwhelm, the natural goodness of the oats. Now, let's move on to our second surprising culprit: dairy. Especially if you have an underlying sensitivity or intolerance. For many years, milk has been seen as the natural companion to oatmeal. We pour it in, cook our oats, and sometimes even add a splash more on top. And for those who tolerate it well, full-fat or low-fat milk might seem like a perfectly fine addition. However, as we get older, lactose intolerance, which is the inability to fully digest the sugar in milk, becomes far more common. Our bodies produce less of the enzyme lactase, which is needed to break down lactose. When lactose isn't properly digested, it ferments in the gut. leading to uncomfortable symptoms like bloating, gas, cramps, and even diarrhea. Imagine starting your day with what you think is a comforting meal, only to feel distended and uncomfortable an hour later. It completely undermines the sense of well-being you're aiming for. Beyond just lactose intolerance, some people experience general sensitivity to dairy proteins, which can manifest as inflammation, skin issues, or digestive discomfort. Even if you don't have classic lactose intolerance, that morning bowl of oatmeal with cow's milk could be silently contributing to systemic inflammation in your body. This inflammation, over time, can impact everything from joint health to cognitive function. The good news is that there are so many wonderful alternatives available now. Unsweetened almond milk, oat milk, soy milk, or even coconut milk can all provide that creamy texture without the potential digestive distress. These plant-based alternatives are often fortified with calcium and vitamin D, ensuring you don't miss out on essential nutrients. Experiment with different varieties to find one you love. Choosing an unsweetened version is key here, to avoid adding hidden sugars back into your meal. Circling back to our first point, it's about listening to your body and noticing how you feel after consuming certain foods. If you find yourself feeling sluggish or bloated after your milky oatmeal, consider making the switch for a week or two and observe the difference. It might be a simple change that vastly improves your daily comfort. Third on our list of tricky oatmeal companions are certain dried fruits, especially those heavily processed or treated with sulfites. Dried fruits like raisins, cranberries, and apricots are often touted as healthy additions to oatmeal, bringing natural sweetness and some fiber, and in moderation. They can be. However, there are a few concerns, especially for our mature audience. Firstly, dried fruits are highly concentrated sources of sugar. While it's natural sugar, the water content has been removed, meaning you're getting a much higher sugar load per serving than with fresh fruit. This can contribute to those blood sugar spikes we discussed earlier. Even if you're avoiding refined sugar, it's easy to sprinkle on a generous handful, thinking it's harmless. But that handful can contain as much sugar as a small candy bar. Secondly, and perhaps more subtly, many commercially processed dried fruits are treated with sulfites to preserve their color and extend shelf life. Sulfites can be a hidden trigger for various sensitivities, leading to symptoms like headaches, digestive upset, skin rashes, or even respiratory issues in sensitive individuals, including some asthmatics. For many older adults, who might already be dealing with sensitivities or medications that can affect digestion, adding sulfite-laden dried fruits can unknowingly add to their discomfort. Always check the ingredient label for terms like sulfur dioxide or sulfites. The key here is mindful consumption. If you love dried fruit, opt for organic, unsulfured varieties, and use them sparingly. A small sprinkle for flavor is fine, but don't rely on them as the primary sweet component or as a major source of fruit for your day. Fresh fruit, like berries or sliced banana, offers more water content, less concentrated sugar, and no sulfites, making them a superior choice for your oatmeal. Now that we've discussed the pitfalls of excessive sugars, dairy for sensitive guts, and certain dried fruits, let's move on to more surprising combinations that might be lurking in your breakfast bowl. Moving right along, let's uncover more common foods that, when paired with your morning oatmeal, could be doing more harm than good. Our fourth surprising addition is fried or processed meats, like bacon or sausage. Now, you might be thinking, who puts bacon in their oatmeal? And you'd be right. Most people don't mix them directly. However, it's very common to have a side of bacon or sausage with your oatmeal breakfast, often on the same plate, consumed together. The issue isn't a chemical reaction within the bowl, but rather the combined dietary impact. Oatmeal is hailed for its heart-healthy properties, helping to lower cholesterol and improve cardiovascular health. Adding a significant portion of highly processed, high-fat, and often high-sodium fried meats completely counteracts these benefits. Bacon and sausage are typically laden with saturated fats, trans fats, and sodium, all of which contribute to increased cholesterol, higher blood pressure, and an elevated risk of heart disease. Furthermore, processed meats are often cured with nitrates and nitrites, which, when cooked at high temperatures, can form harmful compounds called nitrosamines. These have been linked to an increased risk of certain cancers. So, while your oatmeal is busy trying to lower your cholesterol, the bacon next to it is actively working to raise it. It's like taking 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. For older adults, who are already at a higher risk for cardiovascular issues, this combination can be particularly detrimental. If you're looking for a savory element with your oatmeal, consider healthier protein options, a soft-boiled egg, some avocado, or even a handful of nuts or seeds can provide protein and healthy fats without the inflammatory and cardiovascular risks associated with processed meats. The goal is to build a breakfast that works synergistically, where all components support your health, rather than creating a push-pull dynamic. Our 5th item on the list might be hidden in plain sight: artificial sweeteners and artificial flavorings, especially in pre-packaged flavored oatmeal. Many of us reach for those convenient individual packets of flavored oatmeal, perhaps maple and brown sugar or apple cinnamon, thinking they're a quick and healthy option. But if you take a moment to read the ingredient list, you'll often find a startling array of artificial sweeteners like sucralose, aspartame, or saccharin, along with artificial flavorings and colors. While these are calorie-free, the growing body of research suggests they are far from harmless. Artificial sweeteners can disrupt your gut microbiome, the delicate balance of beneficial bacteria in your digestive system. A healthy gut microbiome is crucial for digestion, nutrient absorption, immune function, and even mood regulation. When this balance is disturbed, it can lead to digestive discomfort, inflammation, and even impact metabolic health and glucose tolerance over time. Ironically, the very thing many people use them to manage, beyond gut health, there's emerging evidence that some artificial sweeteners might trick the body, leading to increased cravings for sweet foods, potentially sabotaging weight management efforts. Artificial flavorings and colors, on the other hand, offer no nutritional value whatsoever and can be a source of allergic reactions or sensitivities for some individuals. The convenience of these prepackaged options often comes at a significant health cost. The best approach is to stick to plain, unflavored rolled oats or steel-cut oats. These are the true powerhouses. Then, you can add your own natural flavors and sweetness using fresh fruit, a sprinkle of cinnamon, a dash of pure vanilla extract, or a small amount of pure maple syrup or honey. This way, you control exactly what goes into your bowl, avoiding those hidden chemicals and artificial ingredients that can disrupt your body's natural harmony. Next up, number 6, and this one might genuinely surprise many of you: coffee or tea consumed immediately with your oatmeal. This is less about a direct toxic reaction and more about nutrient absorption. Oatmeal is a fantastic source of iron, particularly non-heme iron, which is the type found in plant-based foods. Iron is vital for energy production, carrying oxygen in your blood, and preventing fatigue, a common concern as we age. However, compounds found in coffee and tea, specifically tannins and polyphenols, can significantly inhibit the absorption of non-heme iron. When you drink a strong cup of coffee or black tea right alongside your iron-rich oatmeal, you're essentially preventing your body from fully utilizing the iron available in the oats. Imagine trying to fill a bucket with water, but there's a hole in the bottom. That's what happens when you consume these beverages simultaneously with your iron-rich meal. Over time, consistently inhibiting iron absorption can contribute to iron deficiency anemia, leading to symptoms like extreme fatigue, weakness, pale skin, shortness of breath, and even heart palpitations. For older adults, who may already have compromised nutrient absorption or other dietary restrictions, optimizing iron intake is particularly important. The simple solution is to create a little space between your meal and your beverage. Try to drink your coffee or tea at least an hour before or an hour after your oatmeal. This gives your digestive system a chance to absorb the iron from the oats before the tannins interfere. If you simply can't start your day without your morning brew, consider switching to green tea, which has a lower tannin content, or enjoy your coffee black without milk, which also contains compounds that can hinder absorption. This seemingly small habit change can have a big impact on your energy levels and overall vitality. Finally, for our seventh common food that can turn oatmeal less beneficial, we have excessive amounts of high-fat, unhealthy additions, such as too much butter or highly processed nut butters with added sugars and oils. While healthy fats are absolutely essential for our diet, turning your healthy bowl of oats into a fat bomb with excessive amounts of unhealthy fats can negate its benefits and contribute to unwanted weight gain or digestive discomfort. A small pat of butter on your oatmeal for flavor, or a tablespoon of natural, unsweetened nut butter for protein and healthy fats can be perfectly fine. But when we start adding multiple pats of butter, or several generous spoonfuls of processed peanut butter loaded with sugar and hydrogenated oils, the picture changes dramatically. These additions significantly increase the calorie density of your meal without necessarily adding more fiber or whole food nutrients. Consuming too much saturated and unhealthy fats, especially regularly, can contribute to elevated cholesterol levels, increased inflammation, and an increased risk of heart disease, once again counteracting the heart protective benefits of the oats themselves. Furthermore, excessive fat, particularly when combined with high fiber, can sometimes lead to digestive sluggishness or discomfort for some individuals. If you're reaching for nut butter, always check the label. Look for brands that list only nuts and maybe a touch of salt as ingredients. Avoid those with added sugars, palm oil, or other unnecessary fillers. If you want to add healthy fats, think about a sprinkle of chia seeds, flax seeds, or a few walnuts or almonds. These provide healthy fats along with additional fiber and nutrients, without the drawbacks of processed options. By being mindful of these additions, you ensure your oatmeal remains a truly wholesome and supportive meal. We've now journeyed through 7 surprisingly common foods that, when paired with your beloved oatmeal, can unintentionally undermine its incredible health benefits and even introduce problems. We've seen how excessive added sugars can turn a slow-release energy source into a blood sugar roller coaster, leading to energy crashes and increased cravings. We explored how dairy, for those with sensitivities, can cause uncomfortable digestive issues like bloating and gas, silently contributing to inflammation. We looked at how certain dried fruits, particularly those laden with sulfites and concentrated sugars, might not be the innocent healthy addition you thought they were. Then we delved into how having fried or processed meats alongside your oats, while not directly mixed, can completely negate oatmeal's heart-healthy advantages, burdening your system with unhealthy fats and inflammatory compounds. We also uncovered the hidden dangers of artificial sweeteners and flavorings found in many convenient pre-packaged oatmeals, which can disturb your precious gut microbiome and lead to other health concerns. And perhaps most surprising for many, we discussed how coffee or tea consumed immediately with your meal can significantly hinder the absorption of vital iron from your oats, potentially leading to fatigue and nutrient deficiencies. Finally, we touched upon how excessive amounts of high-fat, unhealthy additions like too much butter or processed nut butters can transform a light, fiber-rich meal into a calorie-dense, less beneficial one. It might feel a little overwhelming to consider all these potential pitfalls. But please, don't let this discourage you from enjoying oatmeal. My intention is not to scare you away from this fantastic grain, but to empower you with knowledge. Oatmeal truly is a phenomenal food, packed with soluble fiber, essential minerals, and compounds that support heart health and stable blood sugar. The key, as with so many aspects of our well-being, lies in conscious choices and mindful preparation. It's about being aware of what you're adding to your bowl and understanding the impact those additions can have. Think of your oatmeal as a wonderful, Blank canvas. Instead of reaching for the common culprits we've discussed, consider embracing alternatives that amplify its goodness. Sweeten it naturally with fresh berries, sliced banana, or a tiny touch of pure maple syrup. Choose unsweetened plant-based milks if dairy causes you discomfort. Opt for plain, whole rolled oats and add a sprinkle of cinnamon, nutmeg, or a dash of pure vanilla extract for flavor. Boost its nutritional profile with healthy fats and protein from a small handful of unsalted nuts or seeds like chia, flax, or walnuts. And remember that simple tip about separating your coffee or tea from your iron-rich meal by an hour or so. It's such an easy tweak that can make a big difference to your energy levels. Remember, small, intentional changes can make a profound difference to your health and happiness, especially as we navigate the journey of aging gracefully and vibrantly. Each choice we make at the breakfast table and throughout our day is an investment in our future selves. You have the power to transform your morning routine into a truly nourishing ritual that supports your energy, digestion, and overall vitality. I really hope this video has given you some valuable insights and practical tips for making your oatmeal even healthier. Have any of these common combinations been a part of your routine? What are your favorite healthy additions to your oatmeal? Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I always love hearing from you and learning from our community. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps us reach more people who could benefit from this information. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more practical advice and inspiring content designed to help you live your best life at every age. Your well-being is our passion, and we're here to support you every step of the way. Stay well, stay vibrant, and keep making those nourishing choices. Live your best life at every age.